Welcome, my friends, to a chilling journey into the darkest corners of North Korea's prison system. Brace yourself, because what you're about to hear will send shivers down your spine. We're about to uncover the 10 scariest truths about North Korean prisons. Truths so horrific they'll leave you speechless. Are you brave enough to face the darkness? Then steel yourself, my friends, because things are about to get terrifying. Imagine being crammed into a cell so small you can barely breathe. Overcrowding is a constant torment, with dozens of inmates crammed into spaces meant for a handful. Basic sanitation is non-existent. Disease runs rampant, and the cries of the sick and dying echo through the corridors. Temperatures fluctuate wildly, from scorching summers to frigid winters where frostbite becomes a constant threat. Survival in these conditions is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. For many, the physical and mental toll becomes too much to bear. The horrors of North Korean prisons extend far beyond the deplorable living conditions. Within these walls, torture isn't just a possibility, it's a standard practice. Beatings are commonplace, delivered with fists, clubs, and rifle butts. Prisoners are hung by their limbs, subjected to electric shocks, and burned with cigarettes. Sleep deprivation, waterboarding, and stress positions are just a few of the methods employed. Prisoners are forced to witness the suffering of others, their loved ones threatened. The goal is to break them, to strip them of their humanity and leave them as empty shells. The methods are cruel, calculated, and utterly devastating. For prisoners in North Korea, every waking moment is consumed by the crushing weight of forced labor. From dawn till dusk, they toil under the watchful eyes of their captors. The work is grueling and dangerous. Prisoners are forced to work in mines, logging camps, and fields, their bare hands often their only tools. Safety precautions are non-existent, and accidents are tragically common. Malnutrition, exhaustion, and untreated injuries take their toll, leaving prisoners weak and vulnerable. Many simply don't survive the ordeal. Forced labor isn't just about productivity, it's about control and breaking the spirit. The North Korean regime understands that true control goes beyond physical domination. They employ a sinister arsenal of psychological manipulation tactics. One of the most insidious tactics is self-criticism sessions. Prisoners are forced to confess their alleged crimes and those of others, publicly humiliating themselves. Informants lurk within the ranks, sowing seeds of distrust and paranoia. Constant propaganda bombards their senses, distorting reality and instilling fear and obedience. The outside world is portrayed as a dangerous place, while the regime is presented as the only source of safety. In the depths of North Korean prisons, illness is not a misfortune, it's a death sentence. Medical care, if you can even call it that, is practically non-existent. Prisoners suffering from injuries, infections, or chronic illnesses are often left to fend for themselves. Painkillers are a luxury, antibiotics a rarity. Tuberculosis, hepatitis, and dysentery thrive in the overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. The lack of medical care isn't an oversight, it's a calculated cruelty. It's a way to further dehumanize prisoners, to remind them that their lives hold no value. Imagine the gnawing, relentless pain of hunger, a hunger so profound it consumes your every thought. This is the reality for prisoners in North Korea, where food is a weapon used to control and punish. Rations are meager, often consisting of nothing more than a few spoonfuls of watery gruel and a handful of rotten vegetables. The food is barely enough to sustain life, leaving prisoners chronically malnourished and vulnerable to disease. Starvation is a slow and agonizing torture. Prisoners become emaciated, their bodies ravaged by vitamin deficiencies and organ damage. The constant hunger gnaws at their sanity, driving some to desperate measures. Stealing food, even scavenging scraps from the garbage, becomes a matter of survival. In the silence of solitary confinement, the mind becomes both a prison and a tormentor. For prisoners in North Korea, isolation is a weapon used to break their spirit. Imagine being locked in a cramped, dark cell day after day with only the sound of your own breathing for company. The walls seem to close in, the silence deafening. Time loses all meaning. The effects of prolonged isolation are devastating. Prisoners experience extreme anxiety, depression, and hallucinations. Their cognitive abilities decline, their memories fade, and their sense of self begins to unravel. Solitary confinement is a form of psychological torture that leaves lasting scars. It's a slow and agonizing descent into madness. The North Korean regime understands that true control requires more than just physical domination. To achieve this, they subject prisoners to a relentless campaign of indoctrination and brainwashing. Prisoners are forced to attend daily sessions where they are bombarded with regime propaganda. They are forced to memorize speeches by the country's leaders and study the teachings of Yush ideology. Dissent is met with swift and brutal punishment. The goal is to reshape the prisoners' worldview, to replace their own thoughts with the regime's ideology. It's a form of mental manipulation that leaves many emotionally scarred. In North Korean prisons, death is a constant companion, a chilling reminder of the regime's absolute power. Executions are commonplace, carried out swiftly and brutally. Prisoners can be executed for the slightest infraction or simply for being deemed a threat. Public executions serve to eliminate perceived enemies and instill terror in the populace. They are often carried out in front of large crowds, including children, as a stark warning against dissent. The fear of execution hangs over the heads of every prisoner, a constant reminder of their precarious existence. Despite the horrors they endured, some prisoners find the strength to resist, to cling to hope. The stories of those who managed to escape North Korean prisons are testaments to the indomitable spirit of the human will to survive. These survivors emerged from the abyss, their bodies scarred, their minds haunted by the horrors they witnessed. They shared their stories with the world, shining a light on the atrocities committed within the regime's hidden gulags. Their stories are harrowing, filled with tales of unimaginable cruelty and resilience. Their voices are a powerful reminder that even in the face of unimaginable darkness, the human spirit can endure. These harrowing truths are just a glimpse into the horrors faced by prisoners in North Korea. The stories we've uncovered are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, but they are also a stark reminder of the fragility of freedom. The atrocities committed within those prison walls must never be forgotten. Stay informed, stay aware, and never take your freedom for granted. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content.